Hello, everybody. My name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian Fishing 4 float fishing character. Today, trying something a little bit different. I had some fun on this with my or with a just a fun character that I have, and ended up getting 400 silver here overnight. So I figured I'd give it another try on float. So we'll see how it goes. Actually, even had a couple people send me a message about coming out here. So we are over at Old Burg. We are at 24. At 2541, but 2441 is kind of the goal. A little bit too far south, but or east west really is a problem. But over here, just north of the bridge, over here, and seeing what we can get. I did pull out that 1 kilo Bream on float, so I do have my big fancy fish falcon floats out here. Float rods, telesticks. There's the word I'm looking for. I've got a 2.25 meter depth on rod 1, and I've got a 2.5 meter depth on rod 2. And both of them have pearl barley on them for baits. And I did throw out 3 or 4 ground bait balls as well too into the vicinity of where the floats are. So hopefully trying to attract some fish that way. I did not see a trophy bream get pulled out here when I was fishing. I did and basically two nights here. But I did a full day as well too, but really just 2 nights, and pulled out 80 fish and 400 silver. Oh, I just missed that one. Did I forget to put ground bait? I did forget to put ground bait. Cast this one out real quick. I actually had an OBS crash, so was scrambling to even get anything recording. So I've seen 10 to 12 as a recommended distance, clip distance. So we're probably not quite getting out far enough with the telesticks, although it does look like it goes down pretty far. So we may be in a pretty decent shape there, but we'll see what we can get. And hopefully at least the fish feeder rod does well, and hopefully we get a chance for a telestick weekly record. Hello, sir. Four-legged things, now using my arm as a pillow. It is a very hot day. It's almost 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's still over 100 degrees out there right now. So we did not go for an evening WLK because I didn't want to burn someone's paws. He doesn't agree with that currently. But he's calming down now. He got an early dinner, so he was a happy dog. Dinner is best time. Anything involving food is best time. For me, about a 70% toss puts it about right where the float rods are hanging out. And that just, you toss that out, it lasts for, if you actually look at your ground bait in your inventory, it shows you how long ground bait lasts. So Bream mix lasts for 19 hours. There you can see the duration. I'm throwing out this one, so it also lasts for 19 hours. So that should last through the whole night here. And we'll see what we can get. I do have size 1 hooks. I don't know if I said that or not, but size 1 hooks on everything, pearl barley on everything. Tiny bream there. There are some common carp in the area that you got to be careful of. Um, Honestly, I haven't seen too many of them, but there are a few of those. They don't tend to go for pearl barley though, so you're usually pretty safe that way. Might as well do a little dig there. Might as well roll upside down on your back. Today was actually supposed to be our hottest day. We were somewhere around 105 to 107 for a high with 40 to 50% humidity. So just escorting the dog out in the backyard earlier was, I came back in completely drenched in sweat. Another fish on the bottom rod. And the fun character I was using here was a level 15, and I went from about a third of the way, about right where I'm at on this character, all the way up to 16 in a night and a half fishing here. So it was very much worth it from an XP if you're leveling up. I did get, there was one cafe order for about 60 silver, and then the rest were just the Breams at the fish market. And Bream tend to do that where they just push the float up and over. 1.427 kilo Bream. And again, float fishing is not ideal for Bream. I know that. This character is float focused. I could go with a bolo rod, but I kind of want to try and get a weekly telescopic record. Bream. Ow. Someone just plopped his head right on my hand. I'm still seeing 100 degrees on my Chromecast right now. It's just after 7 o'clock. It's 7:02 my time in the evening, so it's hot. Where I live, it tends to be hot between about 4 and 6 anyway, so I'm not entirely surprised it's still hot. What I might do is take a break during the daytime and do a quick escort mission. It does look like 2.5 meters is better than 2.25. So I may pull rod one out and switch that to deeper. That's a good fish. Not a trophy, but it's a good one. 2.3 kilo Bream. I did get some 3 and 4 kilo Breams here. There are some good sized fish here. Like I said, I didn't see a trophy in chat. That doesn't mean someone didn't catch it one. I missed it. Saw a couple of trophy crucians. And I think a couple of trophy roaches. And a dog that just stood up. Woo! A dog that just stood up and shook. Or stood up. That was a nice combination of words there, Tucker. Way to go. Oh, man. It's Saturday. I haven't had to talk all day. Except to a dog, and he doesn't necessarily know what I'm saying half the time anyway. Come on, give me a good carp. I didn't go carp fishing. Give me a good Bream. I debated doing some wild carp, but the more I thought about it and the more I kind of talked to some folks, and I actually caught a couple of small ones on a different count. I thought about doing wild carp over at Donitz, and it would be a struggle on my equipment. So I decided against it for now. But Goal for this account is to continue to make silver, continue to make our way up towards having level 26 where we can get match rods I want. And then that also opens up amber for some more carp fishing, and especially with match rods, we'll be able to go for bigger carp and hopefully actually be able to get bigger carp too. Another 1.17 kilo bream, 72.3% on the float fishing. Something's nibbling 3, something's also nibbling 1. Oh, come on. Decent fish here, nothing amazing though. Over a kilo, so it's a marker. It is not. Wow, that was tiny. That was tiny. Surprised that one pulled as hard as it did. It also looked a lot bigger than 300 grams. Come on, fishy fish. That is a little bit more over here. That's the recommendation was on this side of the log. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up and move over a little bit. I don't think it's going to matter that much. At least get this rod out on this side of the log. There's a pretty good wind. It's actually back down. It was heavier or higher wind when I first got here. That getting an almost immediate bite. I am going to relocate these a little bit more over. Although 2 almost looks like it's too deep right now. This is a decent fish here. I heard drag. I'm not hearing it right now, but definitely over 1.5, probably over 2. Just barely over 2. Just barely clipped the end of the log there, casting out. You gonna fall correctly? Here we go. That's better. Oh, come on. I did get that 2.3 kilo one was a weekly record. Not global or anything, but definitely a US record. And like I said, it's fairly late in the week. It's Saturday evening at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. There's a good chance anything we get stays on the boards through tomorrow. I think it changes over, if I remember correctly, at 1 p.m. Central. Somewhere around there. 1.792 kilo bream. And pretty much I've been casting with a 10-meter clip and just closing the reel. Wouldn't even usually have to tighten it up. It would just fall down. Come on, Breamy Bream. It was raining when I first came here, so my comfort's a little bit low. Here we go. Finally got to eat the thermos of tea. Come on. Patience, Tucker. Patience. Patience. I don't know if that one was a fish or if it just blew over. Come on. Take it, Bream. You know you want to. There it is. Got it. 1.332. I saw that pop right after I grabbed it, but I'd already committed to pulling on the rod. There's a trophy Bream by Mexicano 778. Usually about the 7 to 9 o'clock window is usually a pretty good. I missed that one. Usually a pretty good window for me. A decent one here. Probably about 1.5, 1.8. I need to figure out how much silver I'd want at level 26 because we need 2 reels, 2 rods, and the equipment for those. Oh. Again. I think what I'll do is come 9 or 10 o'clock, we'll take a break. Let me go on a quick VIP escort mission, even though it's hot, and then come back for the next night. because I guarantee you I do not want to be outside too long today. It's finally dropped below 100. It's now 99. Still feels like 102 though. And it's going down to 78 for a low. I keep my air conditioner on 75, so not opening a window tonight, that's for sure. So I didn't hear the bells on this one, but I did look over and see the line was slack. That's why I picked it up. So just grabbed it and came right at us, and it was a small one. That's kind of what I noticed earlier, is if it was a small fish, I oftentimes wouldn't get the jingle jangles. Yeah. Yeah, someone's trying to yell at me that I didn't take him for a WALK earlier. He's getting some pats from my foot right now. I will, here in a little bit, try and take him for a quick short wander. He did just find himself a ball to play with, so he's happy. 2.732, nice one. For telestick Bream, especially. That'll be another weekly record. This is probably not a Bream. Random chub. I think that one hit the log as I was casting out. Yeah, I'm just clipping that tall piece of the log. There we go. On load. What am I fishing for? I'm fishing for Breams. Not quite the top. Not too bad either. Knocked my other weekly record off with that one. On trophy Bream. That was close. Not quite a fish. Come on. You can do it, fish. You can take the bait. It was close. That was close. Keep darting my eyes over to 2 to make sure nothing grabs it while I'm watching this thing play with its breakfast. And I missed it. I think I got impatient there. No, well, I tried. It's interesting. It does seem like this spot might be drying up a little bit because between 7 and 10 was the best the last time I was here, and I'm not seeing anybody in chat catch anything really. Not just I'm not catching anything. No one is. Oh, come on, game. Don't do this to me. That one should have been on. That's why I'm mad. That float was completely laying on its side when I picked it up. $14 fish, though, not horrible for float fishing. Some pretty decent ones, too. Looks like we got one that we can cut up. Come on, fishy fish. Like I said, I'll probably take a break here at 10 o'clock or maybe a second earlier. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Someone's just sat up and is staring at me like he needs to go out. So we're kind of past peak Bream time anyway. So I will log off for a few minutes and then we'll be back here tonight in game and see, see what we can get for the night. I didn't look. It is not going to rain, so I think that'll make sense. So be back in a few. All right, we are back. It's about 8:30 in game. I went ahead and took a quick look here at the cafe. There is a 1 kilo Bream order. Unfortunately, it's only 40 silver. I think I got that one for 60 silver earlier. So there's plenty of time on it, so I'm not going to sell in it everything. But we did get 76 silver overnight, so not a bad night for not being super ideal fishing. What I think I'm going to do today, and I'm still debating it in my head, is I'm going back to the same spot for sure. But I'm debating, do I want to do 1 telestick rod and 2 bottom rods? Right now, that's what I'm thinking I want to do. And I'm debating, do I want to do the 2 bottom rods on either side? I think I do. I do. So what I want to do is I want to take my other bottom rod, put it in 1, and we need to switch out to the Bream, or the not the Bream thing, the feeder. There's a word my brain's wanting to look. It is still very hot out there, and I literally just walked in the door, so I'm still kind of drenched in sweat right now. It actually wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. There was a nice wind, but it was out of the south, so when there was wind, it was very strong. So I'm going to go with this on rod 1. Rod 2 will be the float. And rod 3 will be over here. And this way I can kind of bookend. I do want to switch the float that's on rod 2, though. I do not like that float. So I'm actually just going to pick this rod out. Take this stuff off it. Let's just switch it for the other falcon. And that's not what I meant to press. Pick this rod up, put it away, press rod 2. And this should have a better float. Yeah. But of course, it's not going to lay flat. All right. Evidently, over here is a little bit shallower. Not much. Let's go 2.3. There we go. And I may throw a ground bait ball out here in a second too, but we'll pull this small fish in first. Almost not even worth catching. We lost money on that fish between ground bait components and bait. And then we'll go ahead and throw out one a little bit behind, one pretty much right on, another pretty much right on, and one a little bit past. Wrong button. And you don't have to keep your bottom rod lines completely tight. I like to. There's a couple different thoughts on that. I see a lot of people keep them loose. We used to actually, many, many years ago, everyone would have the rods at a 90-degree angle to the water. That's a decent bream there on float. 1.467. We used to cast and then turn this rod out and then one or two rods out that way. Just to, I don't know why we did that, but that was the old meta of the game many years ago. I think it was so you could see easier when which bell was ringing, because they didn't have as good left-right sound as they do nowadays. So we are 405,000 out of a million. Pretty much 406,000 for the way there. Good to know. About to hit 10,350 on the next fish. Not that that's a major milestone, but always nice to see that. And keep in mind, Tucker, the float rod is 2. It's in the center for a reason. Usually I like to do my float rod, or whatever's different than my bottom rod, as 1. But I kind of wanted to bookend the float with the 2 bottom rods with ground bait, you know. I honestly kind of wonder if I'm getting the float rod too far out. I want to see where this lands when I cast it. $1.291. Yeah, so it's landing right next to where it is, and then it falls quite a ways down. Well, I may not cast out quite as far on the bottom or on the float rod next time. I put it like right there. Need to go shallower if I do that though. Let's try 2 meters. The map here is not super helpful for how deep it is. If you look at the map, there's this darker area that doesn't really give. I think it's supposed to be 2.5 meters, but it doesn't really show how deep it is there. And that's where having a marker rod would help. And to get that, we need to up our bottom rod fishing a little bit still. Looks like 1.5 meters works if I don't cast all the way out. Got to lock this reel, fish bit it. .228 Bream. I think this is a smaller fish. Not even worth talking about, Bream. And I'm just looking at kind of the angle that it's hanging there. Even where it's at, I'm not sure that's where the floated or the bottom rods are. I had a little bit of lag there. Didn't really mean to drink 2 teas, but it happened. I did sign out while I was gone. That's a decent fish. 2.472, not bad. There may be a fish on 3. There's not. Seeing it slack. Come on, fish. Weekly record telestick Bream. Not at the top because we already had a 2.7, I want to say was at the top. Yeah, 2.732. And that's actually in second place. I think a 2.9 was first place for telestick Bream in the US. Come on, Bream. Something grabbed 3 for a second there, but I don't think it's still on. Then something nibbled on one and gave up two. Wow. Come on, fish. Actually take the food. There's a trophy. Ooh, there's a nice trophy bream, a 5 kilo bream by Evil Savant. Good name. That's a decent fish over on 3. That was not a decent fish over here on 1. Looks like Evil had some of the same problems I did. That it took him 2,000 breams to get that trophy. 1.227. I thought that was going to be bigger. Come on. Breams are still here. There's still some good ones getting pulled out too. A lot of 2.5, 3 kilo. And keep in mind, on my bottom rods, I have no points in using a bottom rig or using a feeder rod or anything like that. So I'm not going to get any bonus to fish size based on having points in it. I don't think I have any points to spend either, and I don't want to spend them in that even if I did. Still have float stuff I want to put it. I want to spend in right now. I saw that nibble on 3. Looks like it's still a nibble though. Either a nibble or a tiny, tiny fish. The rate I've been going this evening, it's probably a tiny, tiny fish. I think there is a fish on. Nope, there isn't. Couldn't tell if there's a fish on. A lot of times, giving the line a little tug will set the fish off if there is something on there. And when I did that, I saw it slowly start to retract a little bit. So it seemed like there was some more tension on there than there should have been. That's why I thought there was a fish on, but there wasn't. Come on, fishy fish. At this rate, coming back for a second day may not have been worth it. It still is, don't get me wrong, but just a little bit slower than I wanted. And I knew this spot would be slowly starting to dry up. Though I didn't think. And it's interesting because everyone else is catching fish too. Looks like I'm not the only one that's going where they go. I am drifting a little bit to the right. I'm going to cast this one out a little bit more straight ahead. It's interesting. They're using a small hook. Give it a try on the float rod. I do have an 8. Forgot I didn't want to cast it out as far as I was. They answered that. Reading comprehension, people. If you're going to ask questions, make sure you read chat. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get an answer since they already got it. And they did. I lost the float there, but there's a good fish over on one. Okay, your drag. It's not a trophy, but it's 2 to 3. Maybe a little bigger. Or not. Surprised that was only 1.9 with how much drag it was pulling. Just short of a kilo, but it was still a marker. Come on, fish. Give me something. A lot of nibbles that just go nowhere, which has been weird. Come on. Actually take it. Actually take it. Hey, it did. It's over a kilo. I think. I hope. 1.268. I've not gotten a lot of XP though today. Partially because we haven't gotten a lot of fish. Come on, fishy fish. About to get frustrated. It's just barely over 1 kilo bream, but I'll take it. Fish over on 3. Little roach. There's another goodish fish. Probably 1.5. I hope. 1.376, not quite, but better than not. The wind is blowing from the direction I'm facing right now, so it had blown that float a little bit away from where I wanted it to be. That's why I recasted. This is a good one. I'm going to let it kind of pull for a second. Reel this in real quick. 1.2 kilo bream. I don't think Rod 1's a trophy. I think it's still a good fish. I'm keeping an eye on 2 as well. The float, because you can see the float's getting close. It's over. And that's a good float bream. 1.186. This one out of the water. Oh, it's gone mad now. It's not a trophy. It's not that kind of golden color they get. It's barely 2 kilos. Still a good fish. And another good one here. $2.649. Actually surprised that one wasn't more gold. And like I said, a lot of times the 7 to 8 o'clock hour in the morning is a kind of the second wind for bream. Got a lot of good bream around now. Come on, fishy fish. And we are getting pretty close to the end of bream time, so this will probably be our last fish of the day. And it's a horrible one. But it is what it is there. We're coming up on an hour. Not a bad day. This spot was popping off earlier, like I said, so it may be kind of getting to the end of its time. I saw it all over BK yesterday and a little bit again this morning, and I had at least 3 different people telling me to come here for my video yesterday, so didn't see that until I'd already logged into this account. But we'll go ahead and sell the 1 kilo breams. I do want to cut up the ones I can before I forget. So fillet knife, fish, and cut that one up. And I know I had one more, that one. What I'm cutting here are the ones that are not markers, not flagged or tagged. Don't have that green check mark. And got lucky and was successful in both of them. So I don't see anything else that we caught, so we'll go ahead and sell the 3 smallest 1 kilo bream for 38. And then we'll come over here. Sell the rest for 155, so that's 180, 193 silver. Not a horrible 2-day period. Especially since I was using non-ideal stuff with the telestick, so I do think you could have gotten more if you had 3 bottom rods here. But hope you all enjoyed. We'll be back again tomorrow over on the we're on the float character. We'll be on the spin character tomorrow. Hope you all have a good weekend. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye now.